Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. First of all, I would like to apologize. I have been gone. I have missed about 2 weeks of posting, and honestly, there's no real excuse or explanation. I should have been on top of it, but I was not. So I do apologize about that. But if you are here now, thank you so much. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can create a full song using just 2 chords. Doesn't have to be complicated when it comes to making music. Sometimes you just got to put down what you feel, and sometimes 2 chords is all you feel. So instead of talking your ear off, I'm just gonna get straight into it and break this down or deconstruct this for you, and then I'll show you exactly what it sounds like with lyrics on it too, because we have written lyrics and we have a song. So the first thing I did here, I just chose in the key of C minor, I chose the F minor chord here, and then I chose the B flat minor chord here. So this is completely minor. And you'll notice that they share notes. They share the F and they share the A flat. The pad that I'm using, it is found inside of Harmless. And you know me, I use just stock plugins and stock all. So basically, if you have FL Studio and you have this plugin, you should be able to find this sound. This is what it sounds like by itself. It's a very lush sounding pad. It doesn't have anything on it. There's no EQ or anything like that on this pad. This pad is just, it just sounds the way it sounds. But I will tell you, I basically bounced everything into one single wave, but there's not very much on here. So it wasn't much to bounce into the wave. And this is what that wave file sounds like. There is just one thing on the wave file, and that's this EQ. The second thing is a Fruity Love filter, but that is for an effect, and I'll get into that effect a little bit later. The next thing that we have is our bass, and it is from Harmless. Now, this is a bass that I actually created. I've made my own presets, and this one is called Basically, and this is what that bass sounds like. And it's using the root note of those chords, and then it's using the third of both of those chords as well. This is a very thick, aggressive, basically a raspy sounding bass, something that sounds very distorted, and it's to give it a lot of crunch to the low end. There is something on this. I have a parametric EQ, kind of boosting up some more of those lows and dipping out the bass. I wanted to have that good sub sound. Then I wanted it to be even more distorted, so I added on this distortion here, and after that I just put another EQ on it to lower some of that again, but I also wanted to boost up some of those high harmonics that are in that bass, so it gives us a good distorted sound. And then I just put one more fast distortion on there, but this fast distortion is actually kind of cut down, it's blended in just a little bit because I wanted it to sound very aggressive, and it came out sounding exactly how I wanted it to sound. Those are the 2 main components when it comes to this instrumental. You have the bass and you have the pad. Now, I do also have a guitar in here as well, which is this little file here, this wave file here. And I actually created the guitar as well, and I'll get into it. Now, I have a video that shows you exactly how I pitch bend with the guitar, but this is what the guitar sounds like before I bounce it out into the wave. And as you can see, those last 2 notes are the exact same note, but one of them is pitch bend and the other one is just a regular note. And I'll open up this direct wave and I'll show you what's actually going on here. If we hit play, watch this pitch wheel right here. So basically, I have the pitch bend. I'm controlling that pitch bend with my MIDI controller, and I'm just moving it as I play the song itself, or as I play the riff itself. This is an acoustic direct wave. You can find that in your packs in FL Studio. And in order to get it to sound this way, I actually added the plugin Hardcore, which is also another FL Studio native plugin. And if you don't have Hardcore, because every edition doesn't have Hardcore available, it's like in trial mode, you do still have distortion, so it's like the fast distortion or blood overdrive. You also have delay, and you have reverb. So you can create this type of a distorted sound with any of your instruments, as long as you're using the distortion, the delay, and the reverbs. I also bounced that out as a wave file because I just didn't want so much going on. Once you bounce it out as a wave file, now Hardcore isn't actually working, or it isn't having to be triggered. It's already distorted here, and basically this is what that file sounds like. And there's actually nothing on this except for a parametric EQ. I got some reverb added to it, and I also have a little bit more delay, just give it some more space sound. But this is what it sounds like. That's simple enough. That's fair enough. Not much going on, and I just kind of chopped it up throughout the song, but there's not very much movement going on. Now, this percussion loop is a percussion loop that I created. I created this percussion loop, and it is in one of my packs that hasn't been released yet. And there's actually nothing on the percussion loop except for this parametric EQ, and that was just to clean up some of the high end and kind of duck some of the low end. And this is what basically gave us the entire rhythm for the song. Very simple, very easy, very repetitive. And then the last thing I added was this kick here. And this kick, I do believe this kick is from Cymatics. It wasn't the last thing I added, but I did add a kick from Cymatics. Yeah, this kick is the 808 Mob Kick 2 from the Cymatics pack. The only thing that I have on that kick is a parametric EQ. Got a little bit of fast distortion to give it that top end crunch, and I just EQ'd it again, kind of boosting up that bass and boosting up some of those frequencies here at the top. And then I have two different snares. Both of these snares do come from Cymatics as well. This comes from Cymatic Circus snare. Oh no, I have that same snare just pitched up right here. So it's a little bit pitched higher than the first one, which is the exact same snare. So it's not two snares. And then of course I got this hi-hat. And this hi-hat comes from Cymatics as well. This is the burner open hi-hat. And I'm using a complete open hi-hat, but you can hear it sounds like it's opening and closing. And that's because of the settings that I have on this hi-hat. If you go here and you make your envelope like this, and then you choose that cut by itself, whenever you have a note that is open, like, or closed all the way in, which this is going to be an open note, and then another one like this one comes after it, this note is going to cut off this note. See how it cuts it off? And that's basically the trick to that, not having to have two different hi-hats. And then I just got a couple of filters going on here. Right here at the pad, right before we drop into the hook, I got this pad motion going on. It's the volume. It's just a volume multiplier. And all I did was I went into the pad itself, basically automated the volume of the pad. And that was just to give the pad a little bit more motion and not sound the exact same all the way through. And it kind of differentiates between the verse, the bridge, and then the hook itself. And then right below it, I have this Fruity Love filter. And as you get here, it changes that. When that filter comes on, it changes the tone of it. Basically sounds like this pad is now underwater. And this is the pretty cool filter that I think it is the, it's actually called, what was it, the triangle low pass? Yeah, simple triangle low pass or high pass. I'm pretty sure I'm using the low pass, but it's a simple triangle low pass, and that's going to give it, it's going to almost sound like it's going underwater and getting coming back up. And the last thing is just these riser effects, panning and I'm just panning that rather. It's just a, and the pan on it is just making it pan from left to right, so it gives it a little bit more motion. Everything about this, with it only being 2 chords, I want to have a lot of motion in it. So having these filters and having these multipliers, these automations going on and going left to right with things like that, it gives it a lot more motion and it doesn't sound so plain. And that's basically this entire instrumental. Everything was created here in FL Studio. I just decided to bounce things in the WAV file. It saves CPU, and it also helps where you don't have everything triggering at the exact same time. So that's how I did this. Now I want you to hear the full song, or a piece of the full song, because a lot of times you'll make beats but you don't really hear songs on it, or you'll have a simple beat like this. When you have simple beats like this, these are some of the best instrumentals to make songs too. The name of this song is called Waiting on You. I wrote this song, and the young lady singing it, her name is Cherie Sky. We haven't put this song out yet. There's still some work to be done and some discussions to be had, but this is what the song sounds like so far. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I hope you found something valuable in this tutorial. If you did, leave a comment, drop in a comment, let me know. And also, if you have any questions on what other type of instrumentals to be made I can make for you or break down for you, let me know in the comments, because I'm more than happy to do that. I will be back on this grind, this YouTube grind, and I will not let y'all down. And most of all, I'll try not to let myself down. But here goes.
Tell me if it's true.